Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. Happy Monday. We got Raw coming to you in less than an hour. But we have a lot to cover before that. I am going to it's mostly going to be a review video for last night's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I do want to touch on a little bit of NXT and NXT UK. Not going to do too much. Don't want this video to be like, super crazy long. So, mostly just going to recap Hell in a Cell, results on that, opinions on that, thoughts and all that kind of stuff. Because there was a lot to go over with that show. But I would be remiss if I did not mention a huge story of this week, which was the main event of NXT. We have the return of Pat McAfee. And who else do we have here? We have the new NXT Tag Team Champions, Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Very well deserved. So happy for those guys. Big fan of both of those guys. And this was just so exciting. I feel it was funny watching this match, which took place because this was supposed to be Breezango versus Undisputed Era, but Undisputed Era got taken out, and all that was left was Kyle, and Kyle's like, I'm not going to compete without my boys, so I'm just going to walk away from this, which left Oney and Danny to get the opportunity to be the challengers. And it was funny because during the match I was saying, you know what? If Oney and Danny weren't such good guys, they would look like prime suspects right now. They had me fooled. They really did. I did not see this coming. I mean, I know you're always going to have somebody out there in, wrestling internet land that's like, ooh, I seen this coming. No, you didn't. Nobody's seen this coming. This was beautifully done, masterfully done. I loved this. Like I said, they had me completely fooled. I even thought, they would have something to gain from this. But it's Oney and Danny. No, they good old chaps, but, they did. They aligned themselves with Pat McAfee, which is brilliant business strategy in my opinion, and whatever gets me more Pat McAfee and a returning Pat McAfee on my TV screen, I am so happy about. And we gotta move on though. I could keep talking about this because, oh my god, new tag team champions, Oney and Danny, now managed by Pat McAfee, comes out during the match with the hood on. After the match, we find out who it was. Oh my god, it's Pat McAfee. So excited about that, guys. Alright, a couple things I just want to go over real quick with NXT UK. Another great show from them. I want to talk about Eddie Dennis, though, real quick. He had a match with Oliver Carter. This was a fun match for me because this was like Progress versus WXW. So this was just very enjoyable. After the match, Eddie had a promo, which, by the way, if you didn't check it out, it was incredible. I definitely recommend checking out this episode anyways. But Eddie Dennis has just, since his return, he's really grown into this character. He's really come into his own. I feel like when he first debuted in NXT, I sort of understood what they were going for, but they weren't really nailing it, and now they are. Now he is. This promo, this kind of character work is exactly what Eddie Dennis should be doing. It's a little bit, you can tell, the light's not completely on up there. There's something a little off with this man. But yet he's one of those brilliant psychopath, I guess is a great way of summing this up. But I mean, yes, you have the whole teacher background with him, but there's just an above average level intelligence to Eddie Dennis. But you can also turn that into something very maniacal and very devious. And that is what Eddie Dennis' character is. It's fantastic. He had a promo after the match about what's been going on lately with the recent attacks with Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. And apparently next week he is going to confront them about this. And apparently he has a theory on what's going on. So, but Eddie's, like I said, is a real smart guy. So if anybody can crack the case, I think it's going to be Eddie Dennis. Alright, let's move on to Hell in a Cell. Okay, so there's so much to unpack here. And I have something that I want to say so bad that I just want to come right out off the bat and say, but I'm going to wait to the end. I'm not going to do it yet. We're just going to go through each show, match by match, and discuss them. Talk about them, rate them, review them, all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to rate every match in order. I know some people do that. I'm not going to do that. I am going to do that with the Hell in a Cell matches, though, because I think there was a very clear-cut... I shouldn't say clear-cut. Okay, I do have a very clear-cut for me, a first, second, and a third. First and second are close. There was definitely a Hell in a Cell match that did not quite live up to the other two, but we'll get to that. Let's start off with the first match, the kickoff show. Drew Gulak versus R-Truth. R-Truth won to retain his 24/7 championship. I am not the greatest when it comes to memory, so maybe it's me. I will admit that. But did I maybe miss a Drew Gulak heel turn along the way? Because I don't understand this new character development with him. It just seemed like it went on to off to me. I don't know what the story there was. Drew Gulak just all of a sudden decided to be heel in this match for, like, no reason. But, okay. So, Truth wins, though. Retains it. Nice little fun match. Not too much to report on there, except for Drew Gulak's a heel now, I guess. Okay, so that's how that works. First Hell in a Cell match of the night. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. We have the continuing saga of possibly... arguably, because everything in internet land and wrestling land is arguable, but the greatest storyline going on in all of wrestling right now, Roman and the Usos. This match was not just for Roman's title, but it was also that if it is an I Quit match, and if Jey Uso loses, not only does he have to quit in the match, but he has to quit in the family, so to speak. Whereas if he does not acknowledge Roman, if he does not become Roman's, I don't know if I should use the word, yeah, I guess servant, or like, you know, acknowledge that Roman is above him, he would be exiled from the family, not just him, but his brother and both of their families. So the stakes were extremely high on this, and I was just saying something to somebody earlier about how, normally that would be huge stakes anyways. Stakes that are, you know, in all honesty, bigger than a title belt. This is your family. This is your life. And this might be a big deal in a lot of wrestling matches, putting your place in your family on the line. But for Samoans, it just means even more. So, because that bloodline is just so strong. It's strong in wrestling, but it's strong outside of wrestling as well. So there's such an importance to that I think the gravity of that was just, it was just so much on the line there for them. So this match, it had to be, and it was going to be emotional. It had to be, and it was going to be brutal, and it was, there was a lot of exchanges between the two of them verbally, and it was just a very emotional match, very well done. The whole story, the whole feud, everything's been so well done, but no matter what Roman put Jey through in this match, Jey wouldn't quit. So it was frustrating Roman, and Roman was like, I don't want to do this to you. I don't want to have to do this to you. But no matter what he did, Jey wouldn't quit. He refused to acknowledge him as the tribal chief. So Roman was just going so far because he felt he had to. Not that he wanted to, but he felt that he had to do this for the family. He had to maintain that status at the head of the table, as the breadwinner, as the big dog, the top dog. In the family. So, he felt that burden was upon him, and Jey felt that he couldn't quit. He had his pride too. So, the ref had to be the one to step in, because nobody was gonna say uncle here. Nobody was gonna give an inch. So, the ref was like, yo, he didn't say yo, but he was like, you guys are this is getting out of hand. He didn't rough talk, but I'm gonna do it like that. This is getting out of hand. Stop the match. Roman was not having that either. He was like, no, dude, I'm not cool with that either. So out comes Jimmy. Jimmy Uso comes out, and already this match has just gotten so far out of hand. The ref has lost control. Everybody's lost control. It's out of control. Jimmy comes down because he can't stand to see his brother like this. He can't stand to see him being beaten and worn down and just torn down and choked out and all of this stuff. But no matter what happened, Jey would not quit. So Roman had to, well, I guess maybe find a little way to be creative and get Jey to quit. If his body wasn't physically going to quit, he was going to get it out of him another way. So, Jimmy came down and he just looked at Roman and he's like, who are you even anymore? What are you doing? This is family. This is bigger than everything else. We're family. And Roman to his credit, legit started to cry. Like, I'm not talking like, you know, the little Lana sniffles with the head down and I'm crying. You know, no, you're not, all right? But Roman literally red eyes, tears going down the face. It, like, I wanted to cry. It was emotional. It was, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know who I am anymore. You know, all this stuff. But I mean, it looked great. Fantastic. Don't know where he was pulling that from, but amazing stuff. Very convincing for Roman. Of course, that's all it was to be convincing. He goes to embrace Jimmy, and Jimmy goes to embrace him, and what does he do? He pulls Jimmy in for the guillotine choke. So now he's choking out Jimmy. Jay's starting to come back around. Jay sees this, and Jay couldn't quit on himself, but he quit to get his brother out of pain. And, like, just the gravity of this whole story. Oh my gosh. Like, guys, what more do you want? This is why this is the greatest story in all of wrestling right now. It's incredible. So Jay quit to save his brother, which is extremely compelling, emotional, beautiful, touching, heartfelt stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed this match so much. It just, these guys are shining. It's beautiful. It's the best. Next, you had Elias versus Jeff Hardy, which you kind of needed an emotional break, and I think this match just kind of, yeah, it wasn't a bad match. I don't think there was a bad match on the card, but it was a match. It was there. It kind of gave us a break from everything that we had just been through with the last Hell in a Cell match. So, but yeah, it didn't really do anything special for me. It was just a match, but basically how this one went was Elias was going to hit Jeff Hardy with the guitar. Jeff Hardy took it and hit him with it first. He got himself disqualified, so Elias wins that match. Next, we had some more furthering of a storyline. Otis versus The Miz with John Morrison in The Miz's corner, Tucker in Otis's corner. This was a match for the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't really want to go into the backstory of this because it's a little silly for me. This story is just, I mean, it's just a little, they had this whole courtroom drama and everything, and it just kind of just brought me back to, like, the cheesy shit that they would do in, like, the Attitude Era. I don't know, it's not wrestling to me. That just, I don't mean to put it down, no offense. I'm sure people do enjoy that. I don't want to put down anything people enjoy. This story, just for me particularly, was just not the kind of story that I'm into. Yeah, so they have a legal battle over Otis's Money in the Bank briefcase, and Miz says that he's wasting opportunities, which is just weird because you have a whole year to cash in. So I don't understand what I guess the logic is lacking in this story as well, which takes me out of it. But again, that's just me. So anyway, but basically that's how we got here. That's how we got to the Miz versus Otis with the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. So again, Miz has John Morrison in his corner, and we all know what John Morrison is like. So he's trying to get involved in this match a few times, and again, and again, and okay. So, finally, the ref decided to do something about it. That's noteworthy for the reason that we're going to find out in a couple minutes. The ref was the one that decided to do something about it. Kicked Morrison out. You're out of here, buddy. So, John Morrison gets kicked out of ringside, and, so basically then Tucker ends up taking the briefcase. Whammo, he hits Otis with it. Tucker turns heel. I think that this was absolutely the right call, turning Tucker heel. Let's put aside the fact that you could see it coming a mile away, like I just alluded to earlier, why the ref kicking Morrison out was so important, because Tucker wasn't doing anything about it. Like, Morrison kept interfering this whole match, and I was just like, where's Tucker at this? Like, normally if you have another face out there on the babyface's side, he's out there to counteract the heel manager or partner, whoever that's getting involved. Tucker was just standing there, like nothing. Like, his feet were glued to the ground. He wasn't doing anything. And I noticed this, and I'm just like, okay, well, you know, not totally shocked that Tucker turned heel. Kind of could see that coming. But you know what? It was the best thing for it, though, because Miz ended up winning the match, of course, via that. And the Money in the Bank briefcase, which I think is good, because I feel like Miz needs it more. I feel like Otis is over enough on his own. Miz was just kind of floundering before this whole thing with him and Otis came along. He just all of a sudden got up in Otis's business, everything, his relationship, his tag team partner, everything, just trying to ruin Otis's life. And Otis is just such a great baby face, just that everyman appeal, and he's really caught on. I've always liked Otis, but I think Miz just needs this briefcase more, from a character standpoint. I just think he does. That's just my opinion, personally, though. But I think the thing with Tucker and Otis, though, breaking them up and having Tucker be the heel now, I think that was needed, because even back in NXT, even when Heavy Machinery was new in NXT, from almost the very beginning, I could tell Otis is the star here. These guys are going to split. Otis is going to be a big star, possibly bigger than he actually is at now. I foresaw for him, so we'll see if that actually happens. And Tucker is possibly going to be, I want to say Marty Jannetty. That is a terrible reference to use in wrestling nowadays, though, based on everything that's happened with Marty Jannetty. But you guys know what I mean when I use the Rockers reference, though. One guy rises to the very, very top. The other guy is practically unheard, never seen or heard from again or whatever. But I didn't really see big things happening for Tucker. He just didn't have that equality to me. Turning him heel, now he's got a fighting chance. He's on his own. Let's see what he can do. All right, so I'm cool with that. Bayley versus Sasha, your second Hell in a Cell match of the night. This is the one that had, I want to say the longest history and story involved, if you don't take into account the fact that Roman and Jay have been family for their whole lives. So if we actually just talk in terms of wrestling, this would be the lengthiest storyline. And there was a huge investment here in this. The whole summer was the summer of Sasha and Bayley, and then you had the turn. And that brought us here. You even had the stuff back in NXT. There's just so much investment with this feud. It was brutal because it had to be. It was creative. These spots that they were doing were things I'd never seen before. So unique. There was even a dash of humor in the match, which leave it to Bayley. She's trying to build something on the outside of the ring. Where live pal doesn't always go your way. So she's trying to get the duct tape off. And for anybody who's tried to use duct tape or packing tape, which I'm sure is most of you, I have actually had to do that recently, so I can vouch for Bayley. That stuff, it sticks. It doesn't rip off like you want it to. So she looks at the rush. Can you do this for me? So I don't know. I got a kick at it. That's the kind of humor I enjoy in wrestling. Bayley is so on the fly. She's so natural. I got such a kick out of that spot. So I just wanted to bring that one up. But everything they did was just so unique. Just the creativity, the brutality, everything. Really, this is the kind of Hell in a Cell match where I watch, and my hair's doing a weird thing. I'm sorry, guys. I keep playing with it, but I'm just looking like garbage right now. This is the kind of Hell in a Cell match, though, that I look at, and I'm like, what more could you have wanted from this match? What more could they have done? They did just incredible. They did incredible. They did. You couldn't ask for much more. You really couldn't. Sasha won the match. Sasha becomes a Grand Slam champion. Sasha Banks, my favorite female wrestler in the world. So I was so thrilled, so proud. Loved this match. Loved every single thing about it. These ladies. Sasha versus Bayley is always going to be an extremely high bar, but they probably even exceeded my expectations, honestly. It's hard to tell because I already the bar could not be higher for those two in my eyes. That's one of my favorite feuds of all time, one of my favorite matches of all time, them in NXT. I love Sasha to the point where I actually get emotional talking about how much I love Sasha, because you guys know my time in the business as a female wrestler. That's somebody that I really look up to, I admire. I don't think anybody does it better. So for her to get that title and now hopefully be able to hang on to it, and hopefully having that title, not just because she's on a Star Wars show now, but because she deserves this, she has earned this, and hopefully these can be successful title defenses based on merit and based on what Sasha is worth, which to me is a whole lot. I love Sasha. Alright, so then we had Bobby Lashley versus Slapjack from Retribution, and Bobby Lashley won Bobby Lashley retained his title. Retribution ate another L. I don't know how many more loses Retribution, this is the second one in a row now, can have before they start losing credibility. I don't know. I'm wondering what the end game is here. I'm seriously questioning the logic of Retribution coming in like this dominant renegade faction of crazy people who lose matches constantly. I don't know what the logic is. So if you do, fill me in, drop it in the comment section, because I don't know why they keep losing. It doesn't make any sense to me. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton in your main event. The third Hell in the Cell match of the evening. Okay, so time to be a little critical here. Randy Orton was the new champ, which he won the match, so he is your new champion, which was good because, number one, for those of you who are upset that Drew didn't have as long as a title reign as you would have wanted him to, Drew's going to get that title back when the fans come back. All right, they're going to do this whole thing again like it should have been done properly in March. He's going to get his big moment. Not that winning a title at WrestleMania, fans or not, is not a big moment. It is. But the wrongs will be right. I have faith in that. But also, I think this was the right call because at least this was one sort of, I guess, reason in the checkmark side of why this was the main event, because other than that, I'm at a loss. Randy is the new champ, but other than that, there was literally nothing new about this match. These guys did not do anything that hasn't already been done and has been done in the past better than they did it last night. I don't want to go into it too much. I'm a fan of Drew McIntyre. I'm a fan of Randy Orton. I'm not saying any of this stuff to put him down. It was a decent match. It was an okay match for a Hell in a Cell match. They brought nothing new to the table, though. There's nothing, and I know maybe you say, well, why reinvent the wheel? Well, Roman and Jay were reinventing it, and Bayley and Sasha were reinventing it, and it went pretty well for them. I think it was pretty close. It could be, it's just all a matter of opinion. It could be close between Sasha's match and Roman's match, which one should have main evented. For me, it was absolutely Bayley and Sasha should have been the main event of this show. I feel extremely strongly about that. I am willing to die on that hill. That's just all there is to it. Sasha and Bayley should have been the main. I was livid that they weren't. And to be honest, it took away slightly for me from the match and Sasha winning, because those ladies deserve that main. And it's a slap in the face they didn't get it. They should have got it. But there's also a very good case to be made for Roman and Jay as well. So Roman and Jay would be my second favorite Hell in the Cell match, and a very distant third would be Drew and Randy. I didn't get it. I didn't get the hype. I didn't get, I don't know. It was kind of going through the motions, wasn't it? It was a little bit color by numbers Hell in the Cell. So, alright, hate to end it on a bad note with that, but yeah, I rank these. Bayley and Sasha are definitely the best, and then Roman and Jay were the second, and Drew and Randy didn't quite measure up to the level of the other two matches, and it wasn't even a close call. But there you have it. That's my opinions. You are more than welcome to leave yours in the comment section. I would love to hear your feedback on any of this. About Sasha being our new Grand Slam champ, which I'm so proud of her. I love Sasha so much. I'm really, really excited about that. I thought there was a lot of interesting new stories and developments and everything on this show. I think overall it was a great show. My only criticism is just match placement. Other than that, I really don't have any complaints. I thought it was a fantastic show. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, make sure you watched NXT UK. Make sure you watched last week's NXT. And we got Raw coming up tonight. Oh my god, in like 14 minutes. I gotta go so I can upload this thing. Love you guys. Have a good day. Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Bye. Mwah.